Om Shanti, good morning, golden morning, diamond morning. We can say 21 kinds of morning and make our day special, powerful. Every day, little affirmation brings us lots of energy and blessings. So, I would like you to join with me to celebrate saying good morning to Baba. Good morning, golden morning, diamond morning, positive morning, powerful morning, sparkling morning, divine morning, spiritual morning, loveful morning, sweet morning, bright morning, fabulous morning, fragrant morning, energetic morning, powerful morning, morning filled with God's wisdom, God's unconditional love, morning filled with contentment, morning filled with creativity, morning filled with experiencing God's blessings upon me, morning filled with total purity, honesty, humility, cheerfulness. So our morning will become something very special. And they said that whatever you experience in the morning, that makes your day accordingly filled with those energies. So we will experience it and in these vibrations, take 3 deep breaths, take our shoulders up, back and down, close and open our fist. And in this stable stage, balanced stage, comfortable stage, we sit in Madhuban History Hall while taking Baba's tea. Today's murli, 14th April 2026. Morning murli, Om Shanti Bapdada Madhuban. Essence. Sweet children, in order to become deities, drink this nectar and also inspire others to drink it. Only those who drink this nectar become elevated. It's a nectar of knowledge. Question. On what basis do the subjects of the Golden Age become ready at this time? Those who are impressed by this knowledge and say that it is very good, but neither study it nor make effort, become subjects. To be impressed means to become a subject. In order to become a Sun Dynasty king or queen, effort is required. Full attention has to be paid to this study. You can receive a high status if you continue to stay in remembrance and also inspire others to do the same. Song. You spend the night in sleeping and the day in eating. Now, what we say, we change this song. We spend night in Baba's remembrance and day in Baba's seva. We spend night in Baba's remembrance and we spend day in Baba's service. Om Shanti. You children heard in the song that it said their lives were like a diamond and that they have now become like shell. So, according to this Indian Bhakti song, it said that human life is worth diamond. But in Iron Age, human beings spending time in sleeping and eating, and that's why it became like a shell or a worth a shell. Because we Baba's children are using our time in a worthwhile way, and that's why our life is becoming worth a diamond. We used to have a one very good book. I am not sure even it could be available still in Madhuban. That come and learn Raj Yoga meditation to make your life worth diamond. Jagdish Bhai wrote it. It could be available maybe on a D.R. Luhar's website. Okay, so let me start again. You children heard in the song that it said their lives were like a diamond and that they have now become like a shell. This is common. Baba explains very easily so that even a small child can understand when they relate the story of the true Narayan. Even small children sit down to listen. However, whatever they relate in those spiritual gatherings are only stories. Those stories are not knowledge. They are just man-made stories. There is the story of the Gita and the story of the Ramayana. There are many different stories in the scriptures that they relate. All of them are stories. Can then ever be any benefit in stories? This is the story of the true Narayan. That is the true story to become Narayan from an ordinary human. So one of the things in India's devotion and bhakti that once or twice in a month, like a 11th day or a 15th day, like a new moon day. No, not sorry, not new moon day, on a full moon day and 11th day of the month. They keep some kind of spiritual ritual, actually, bhakti ritual, and have a little bit kind of religious gathering. And they have this special, they invite one of the Pandits and they have this special Satyanarayan Katha, the story of the true Narayan. And the story is like when you speak truth, what the benefit you can have. So that only the moral of the story they have, that one family members go to do the business. When they were returning, they had a jewels and so many things in their boat. But when one priest is asking what is in your boat, they said, oh, we will say that we have a jewels and gold and everything. Maybe this priest will ask and demand and we have to give. Rather, just tell him that, oh, we have only flowers and, all kinds of leaves and those kind of branches and like that. And the priest said, may it be, like blessing. And really their boat became filled with just only flowers and, green vegetables and things like that. They afraid, they scared. They said, we did something wrong. So they tried to invoke that priest who was in a form of God and said, please forgive us and take whatever jewels and gold you need, but give us back. And then they said that God was pleased with them, forgive them and give them back. They said, always speak truth. Anytime God can come and ask you, and it can become curse instead of blessings. So this kind of story they always share. And that's what Baba said, that this is not only speaking truth of the material things or physical things or situations. This is actually you become human being to a Narayan through true knowledge. that Baba comes and gives us and awakens our true soul and help us to connect to our true Father. So this is a very interesting. Okay, by listening to this story, you change from an ordinary human into Narayan. This is also the story of immortality. Huh? Like I am a soul, immortal being. So in India, there is another story that they also do in Bhakti is Amar Katha. You invite people, come and we will tell you the story of immortality so you can go to the land of immortality. I am soul is immortal, Baba is immortal, soul world is immortal, golden age is immortal, like that. So this all the detailed knowledge that we are receiving, and they made different stories, and that also not complete. In spite of that, no one understands anything. They have been listening to the stories of the scriptures and yet they haven't received anything. They go to the Lakshmi and Narayan temple. Come, let's go there to have a glimpse of the idols. Let's go and have a glimpse of the Mahatmas. That custom and system has continued. They continue to bow down to all the rishis and munis, etc., who existed in the past. So bowing down is like a sign of humility and sign of respecting and honoring who is greater than you. Ask them if they know the story of the creator and the creation, and they reply that they don't. You children now understand that the story of the creator and the creation is very easy. It is the story of Alpha and Beta. Although those who come to the exhibitions listen to the story very well, they don't become pure. They believe that the custom and systems of indulging in vice is eternal. They go in front of the idols of the deities in the temples and sing, "You are completely voiceless." Then, when they come outside, they say that it is an eternal system to indulge in vice, and they ask how the world could continue without it. They say even Lakshmi and Narayan had children. They say this, and so what can you tell them? You cannot equate those with ordinary human beings. Deities were still human beings. They were so happy in the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan. Baba is telling you children, very easy thing. Truly there was heaven here in Bharat. It used to be the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan. There are their images too. Everyone believes that it kingdom in the golden age. No one was unhappy there. They were completely voiceless. Big temples have been built to them. They existed 5,000 years ago. They don't exist now. It is now the end of the Iron Age. Human beings continue to fight and quarrel among themselves. God resides up above in the land of Nirvana. In fact, we souls also reside there and we then come here to play our parts. At first, we were in the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan. There was a lot of happiness and bliss there, and then we had to take 84 births. The cycle of 84 births have been remembered. We ruled in the Sun dynasty for 1250 years. There was limitless happiness there. People were completely voiceless, and there were palaces studded with diamonds and jewels. We ruled that kingdom and then had to take 84 births. The cycle of this world history and geography continues to turn. There was happiness for half a cycle. We were in the kingdom of Ram, and then the population of human beings continue to grow. In the Golden Age, there were 900,000. By the end of the Golden Age, that had grown from 900,000 to 20 million, and then there was a lot of happiness and comfort for 12 births in the Silver Age. There was just the one religion. What happened then? The kingdom of Ravan began. Look how easily I explain the kingdom of Ram and the kingdom of Ravan. You should also explain to young children in this way. What happened then? All the big palaces of gold studded with diamonds and jewels went down below in the earthquakes. Earthquakes took place when the people of Bharat became vicious and the kingdom of Ravan then began. From pure, everyone became impure. They say that golden Lanka went down below. Some things must have remained with which they built temples, etc. The path of devotion began. Human beings began to become vicious. So Baba is sharing whole history. It then became the kingdom of Ravan and their lifespans decreased. From being voiceless yogis, they became vicious bogis who indulge in sensual pleasures. As were the king and queen, so the subjects too. So the subjects too became vicious. This story is so easy. If you young daughters related this story, important influential people would be ashamed. The Bharat is now sitting here. The Father is now sitting here and telling you this. He alone is the ocean of knowledge and the purifier. Then in the Copper Age, you became those who indulge in sensual pleasures and became impure, and other religions then began to come into existence. The intoxication of nectar finished. Fighting and quarreling began. We began to fall in the Copper Age and we became even more vicious in the Iron Age. We continued to make stone idols of Hanuman and Ganesh. We became those with stone intellects and began to worship stone. We believed that God exists in the pebbles and stones. By our doing all of that, the condition of Bharat has become like this. The Father now says, renounce position, drink this nectar, become pure and claim your kingdom. Renounce poison and you will change from humans into deities. However, you don't renounce poison. Women are beaten so much for poison and troubled so much. This was why Draupadi called out for protection. You understand how it is not possible to become deities without drinking this nectar. Ravan does not exist in the Golden Age. The Father says, unless you become elevated, you cannot go to heaven. Those who were elevated have now become corrupt. You now have to drink this nectar and become elevated. The Father says constantly, remember me alone. Have you forgotten the Gita? I created the Gita, but they inserted Krishna's name. Who gave Lakshmi and Narayan their kingdom? It must definitely have been God who gave it. God taught them Raja Yoga in their previous birth, but Krishna's name was inserted. You should practice explaining this to others. It is a very easy story. How long did it take Baba? Even in half an hour, some are not able to understand such an easy matter. This is why the Father says, just sit and explain this short story to someone. Take a picture in one hand. There is the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan in the Golden Age and the kingdom of Ram and Sita in the Silver Age. Then the kingdom of Ravan began in the Copper Age. It is such an easy story. We were definitely deities and then became warriors, merchants, and Kshudras. Now, because you don't consider yourself to be deities, you call yourself Hindus. From having an elevated religion and performing elevated actions, you have become corrupt in your religion and actions. If you young daughters sat and gave lectures in this way, the whole gathering would say, Encore, encore. Baba is speaking to those at all the centers. These older people don't learn anything. So teach these little Kumaris. There are also the names of Kumaris. There are very good Kumaris in Delhi and Bombay. They are well educated. They should become alert. They could do so much. If the Kumaris were to become alert, the name would be glorified. Those from wealthy homes hardly have any courage. They have the intoxication of their wealth. Once they receive their dowry, that's it for them. When a Kumari gets married, she becomes ugly and has to bow down to everyone. Therefore, the father explains so easily. However, they don't think about becoming those with divine intellects. Look, nowadays, even those who haven't studied have become MPs or MLAs, etc., member of Legislative Assembly. Look at what MP means, Member of Parliament. Look at what they can become by studying. This study is very easy. You should go and teach others. However, because they don't follow Srimad, they don't even study. There are many very good Kumaris, but they have their own intoxication. When they do a little work, they think they have done so much. Now a lot of work still has to be done. Nowadays, it is Kumaris who indulge in a lot of fashion. There is a natural beauty. Here, the adornment is so artificial. They spend so much money just on hairdressing. That is the pomp of Maya. You all will be happy to know that we have a surrender Kumaris more than 25,000. And they have really made their life filled with sacrifice, renunciation, and mine is only Baba. That's why Baba said they are real nuns. Like in Catholicism, when somebody surrenders, they say that I got married with God. Mine is one but none. Like I have only God in my life. That kind of deep love for God and that God's power helped them to live life with so much service. That's why there are so many convent school and hospitals, and they really do seva. And they feel like doing seva to the needy people is a God's service. So Baba said that. But in Baba's Yajna, Kumaris are doing spiritual service, right? It's a spiritual school and spiritual university. They spend so much money just on hairdressing. That is the pomp of Maya. There is fall of Maya, the kingdom of Ravan. And then there is the rise of kingdom of Ram. The kingdom of Ram is now being established. However, you should at least make some effort. What will you become if you don't study? When you go there, you will become subjects worth a few pennies. Eminent people of today will become subjects there. Wealthy people simply say that this is good and become engrossed in their work. They become very impressed, and then what? What will happen eventually? They will become subjects there. To be impressed means to become a subject. Those who make effort will go into the kingdom of Ram. The explanation is very easy. The boats of those who maintain the intoxication of this story will go across. We will go to the land of peace and then go into the land of happiness. That's it. You simply have to remember Baba and inspire others to do the same. Only then will you claim a high status. Pay attention to studying. You should have pictures in your hand. When Baba used to worship Lakshmi and Narayan, he would have their picture in his pocket. There are many small photos. They are also in the lockets. Explain those pictures. This is Baba, and you receive your inheritance from him. Now become pure and remember the Father. There is so much of this knowledge in the page. It has this entire knowledge. It is very easy to explain this. Claim your inheritance of liberation in life from the Father in a second. Anyone who explains this can claim a right to the status of liberation in life. All the rest will claim a status according to how they study. They will go to heaven. They will at least come at the end. The population has to grow. The deity religion is the highest. They, deities, would be created, would they not? There will be hundreds of thousands of subjects created. Effort is needed in order to become part of the Sun dynasty. Only those who do service will claim a high status. Their names are also glorified. Kumarka, Janak, etc. are looking after centers very well. There is no conflict. The father said, see no evil, speak no evil. In spite of that, some continue to say such things. Baba is saying about daddies used to take care of the centers. And eventually, they are taking care of entire world. Some continue to say such things. What will such people become when they go there? They don't even do such easy service. Even little daughters can explain this. They can give this knowledge. The army of monkeys is very well known. In Ramayana, the Sitas who are trapped in Ravan's cell have to be freed. People have made up so many different stories. Someone should give such lectures. Then the Kumaris, say that so and so was very impressed. Ask them, what do you want to become? They just tell others. Their knowledge is very good. However, they themselves don't understand it. So, what was the benefit? Acha, to you, sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says namaste to you, spiritual children. And we spiritual children say namaste to the spiritual father, mother, all the ancestor daddies, all the advanced party souls. We visualize we are receiving divine rays, divine light, divine might from Baba, Mama, all the daddies, and we are soaking in that divine light and might. And we feel we are turning into light and might, an image of light and might. So take deep breath, close and open your face, take your shoulders up, back and down, and just be in that powerful stage. Thank you, Baba, thank you, Baba, thank you, Baba, for divine wisdom. I am so fortunate to receive it, and all day long I will practice with lots of good feelings. S is for Dharana. In order to become one with a divine intellect, pay full attention to this study. Study and teach others according to Srimad. Renounce the intoxication of your limited wealth and fashion, etc., and engage yourself in doing this unlimited service. Hear no evil, see no evil, don't talk about wasteful matters, don't be impressed by anyone. Tell everyone the short story of becoming a true Narayan. Blessing. May you die alive and remain aware of your new life and thereby gain victory over your physical senses. I, the soul, die alive and remain in my new life, remain aware of my new life, and thereby gain victory over my physical senses. I, the soul, die alive and remain aware of my new life and thereby gain victory over my physical senses. I, the soul, die alive and remain aware of my new life and thereby gain victory over my physical senses. You children who have completely died alive cannot be attracted by any physical senses. To die alive means that you have died to everything and that your old life has finished. Since you have taken a new birth, how could you be influenced by physical senses in your new birth and new life? In your new life of a Brahma, Kumar, or Kumari, you are completely beyond any knowledge of what it means to be influenced by the physical senses. Do not let even the slightest breath, that is any sanskar of Kshudra, be even slightly stuck on you. Slogan. Merge God's love in your heart at Amrit Vela and no other love will attract you. I, the soul, merge God's love in my heart at Amrit Vela and no other love will attract me. I, the soul, merge God's love in my heart at Amrit Vela and no other love will attract me. Om Shanti, Avyakt Signal. Imbibe the virtues of sweetness and humility to become great. I, the soul, imbibe the virtues of sweetness and humility to become great. I, the soul, imbibe the virtues of sweetness and humility to become great. In order to attain success in a gathering, remain constantly seated on your throne of humility. Sit on this throne and wear your crown of responsibility and create your future status. Don't get off your throne. Do everything while seated on your throne and you will continue to receive success. Let the lesson of you first form. By doing this, your sanskar will harmonize with everyone. He said, everyone respect and honor. Said, okay, you first, you get this opportunity or something like that. So then you will have a harmonious sanskar with everyone. Acha. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Thank you for joining. Now we'll have a moment of silence and